Welcome to episode 6 of The Green Room, From Origin to Office, where we'll be discussing the difference you can make by purchasing ethical products as a business. I'm Keely and I lead the supplier support programme for Lyreco UK and Ireland. Today I'm joined by some of our new suppliers from the programme. Hi everyone, I don't know if you want to introduce yourselves and a bit more about your roles.
Of course, hello, hi. I'm Paul Rees, I work for our co-op. My role is Communities and Communications Manager, and that's two sides to it really. One part is, I like to describe it as sort of creating stories, that's my communities bit, and then there's the communications bit, which is the sort of telling stories, so through PR and comms, etc.
Yeah, can't wait to hear more about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Paul Birch from Revolver. We work with other cooperatives and independents and with colleagues like Andrew.
Absolutely. So I'm Andrew Emmett and I'm the MD of Nut Sellers and the chairman of Nana Macadamia Trust. And we work with smallholder macadamia farmers in Malawi. And we've been working as a family on that for at least 30 years. The charity work is supporting the farmers develop their co-ops and tree planting, and Nut Sellers brings the product to market.
Yeah, great to meet you all. So let's just jump straight into it. When we say from origin to office, what does that mean to you guys?
I think for me, it's about an understanding of where things actually come from. There's everything we have to see on our shelves in our stores and everything we expect to walk in and grab when we're shopping or buying anything really, making a purchase, has come from somewhere. It has an origin that we should understand and respect and have a better appreciation of. Everything has to be, grown and nurtured and looked after and cared for by someone somewhere who isn't always in your immediate sort of vicinity. And I think for me, the storytelling part is about people appreciating that. Everything you have, everything you buy, everything you expect to see on shelves has come from someone who's passionate and is working hard to let you have it.
Absolutely. I think it's really important to recognise that every product, does have that story. It begins with real people, communities, and like the materials it comes from as well.
For us, it's about the relationship with individual farmers. With international commodities, they tend to come together and form cooperatives. So that's where we come in, right? So it's curious that most of the commodities that are produced in the world are produced by cooperatives. They tend to be in the southern hemisphere. Most of the cooperatives in the northern hemisphere are retail cooperatives that then sell those. And some of the biggest retailers of food and beverages across Europe are cooperatives. So that's how we come together. And it's what joins us together as well, because this is the common link between us.
Absolutely, and I think for us, our Malawi partnership has been about Principle 6, cooperation amongst cooperatives, and this links co-ops in UK to co-ops in Malawi, and that's how the relationship started. But for us, we talk about tree to table, and I think in the office setting, it could be an office table where you're trying some of our macadamia nuts. But for us, the tree bit starts with a nut. And the nut, we support the farmers plant the trees, and it takes years for those trees to grow. And you just imagine being a farmer in Malawi, taking that first step to produce a product, which then takes years to reach maturity. And that whole sustainability journey from tree to table requires partners along the chain. And so it isn't just about a commodity, it is about the whole network from farm to the end customer, and vice versa, the customers thinking about where their product has come from.
Yeah, I think personally, I tend to look at products and actually I like your packaging, it tells you exactly where the products come from. But do you think some people don't actually consider that still, and that it's kind of overlooked by some people?
Consumers are really smart, right? They have to make very fast decisions about their family budget and about what's good value. And people are swapping products all the time. Brands are an easy way to communicate this, right? If you're a small brand, that's the challenge. But this is the challenge we decided to take on.
It's going well so far. So
Yeah, we're trying.
yeah.
Exciting.
Perfect. So that's kind of like touching on the origin to office side. But in terms of an ethical product, I feel like ethical is a very big buzzword and it can just be thrown around without people actually understanding what it means to have an ethical product. So I suppose, what does that mean to you guys?
So we've had a lot of puns thrown at us, but this is a hard nut to crack, and I think an ethical supply chain is equally a hard nut to crack. And I think anyone who's involved in sustainability in any shape or form, whether it's trying to sort out your packaging or switching off lights or looking at your scope 3 emissions, we're all faced with these challenges. But I think we've got an even greater challenge. Not many people know about macadamia. Not many people know about Malawi. And I think our Malawi partnership is a really good way of showcasing fantastic products. And in the case of the macadamia, it has been 30 years in the making. And what we're looking for are partners who will come with us on what has been a long journey, but has the potential to really have a significant impact over time with many smallholder farmers in Malawi.
Yeah, I think really important. The people that grow the products that we sell are sort of well treated. They've got proper rights. They've got access to the facilities that they need and support that they need. They're being paid fairly and properly. So all those things are true when we think about ethical products. You can't always put all those things on a label necessarily, but I think fair trade's gone a long way to try to symbolise that in a logo. But everything we do, everything we work on, will have those things in the background, those things in our minds the whole time. But good pay, people being treated properly and having freedom to, take agency for their lives.
Yeah, so I suppose it's like a mix of everything really, like so sustainability, and then as you say, treating people that are actually working to make the products right, and then the impact, the social impact as well that the products will have. That is what makes an ethical product.
It's true. I think you've got to be fair to the producers. Look, in Malawi, a lot of people are earning $1.20 a day.
Really?
Right, not an hour, a day. So we've got to be fair to producers who we don't know, but we've also can't be fair to consumers, our customers, and give them the best possible product we can at the best possible price. And if we don't do that, our competitors will. So one of there's a lot of greenwashing, of course, in commodities, you have that, but you see that across every area of industry. Right. The critical thing is not to be taken in by it.
Yeah.
So, and you can listen to your own PR and be convinced how good you are at doing things. But it is a journey. And I mean, everything that we do is fair trade, of course. I've always felt about fair trade, it's a great start. It's not the end of the journey, it's the start of the journey. I think if things are organic, even better. If they're GM-free, even better again. Good PR starts by doing the right thing, doesn't it, Paul?
Absolutely. Absolutely right.
You can't just talk the talk.
We can't make it up, You're going to be held to account at some point and, you'll be scrutinised for what you say publicly. And I believe it's got to be about walking the walk and talking the talk.
Yeah.
That's coin a phrase. The worst thing in the world is to try to greenwash or blue wash or whatever else people are doing out there to look ethical and present themselves in a certain way. And when your consumers find out you're not being true to them, you're lying to them, or they've been buying a product under false pretenses, then your brand will collapse. So you've got to do the right thing to be able to say you're doing the right thing.
Absolutely, I completely agree. Obviously, with me working on the supply support program, I'm involved in a lot of marketing campaigns that are surrounding ethical products and sustainability and social impact. And from my point of view, I've had to learn through doing this job that it's not about just posting something online and going, look what we're doing, isn't this great? It's about actually building those relationships behind the scenes and making sure that you are, as you say, walking the walk.
Yeah.
Supply support program has been amazing to work on. Obviously, you guys have come on to it this year, which is really exciting, which leads us on to, I can't wait to hear more about you guys. So I don't know if you want to tell me more. I don't know if you want to start with Paul about our Malawi partnership? And
Yeah, certainly. Our Malawi partnership, we launched back in 2022. It's on 2nd of July, which was the 100th International Day of Cooperatives, so quite a significant moment to do something significant. And its aims were to focus on Malawi, to build better trading capacity with smallholder farmers in Malawi, to sort of strengthen international trading opportunities, and also to strengthen the cooperative communities in Malawi, which there were already, communities there that we could work with and networks there we could work with, and other, partners have already been there for years. So it was a really easy choice to make because it wasn't from ground zero. We had lots of, potential already there. We worked with, I mentioned partners, supplier partners who had good relationships with Malawi already, to provide products that we could sell in our stores, and some of the proceeds of which would go towards a fund that would then support farmers on the ground. We also work with Mafeco, which is the Malawi Federation of Cooperatives, who are a cooperative apex body in Malawi, and they also ensured that any sort of funds and any approach we took to supporting farmers in Malawi was driven and led by the farmers themselves and producers themselves, because the worst thing in the world that we could do is to decide on their behalf what the priorities are. So lots of workshops and lots of conversations and consultation with people on the ground there through Mafeco to make sure that the right things are coming along at the right time and that we are investing in the right moments to support them. We also worked, Andrew mentioned Principle 6 earlier. All cooperatives sort of operate under a set of values and principles that we all share and we all hold dear. And that Principle 6 is cooperation amongst cooperatives. And it's just worked really well for us because we are seeing the power of cooperation in action as we go along. And it's a pilot project, so it was never, done before. And we're trying to see how the results land and if it's going to be a model for future support for maybe other areas or countries. So it's really exciting to be part of.
Yeah, that's really great to hear. I suppose, what's the ambition then for our Malawi partnership? Like in the future, what do you want to achieve?
Gosh, the ambition is, Malawi itself is one of the poorest countries in the world, and there's lots of abject poverty in Malawi. We'd like to create something, an effect, a initiative that helps to lift some people out of poverty as much as we possibly can, and that'll be through trade rather than aid. So we really believe that this initiative is all about trading and people having the capacity and sustainability and training and ability to do what they need to do for themselves to lift themselves out of this current situation. So it's never about bunging money to anybody. It's always going to be about how do we support people in doing things better. We provide things, for example, like organic fertilizer training and equalities training and, agricultural practices and all sorts of different sorts of training to build sustainability into the future for Malawian farmers.
Yeah.
And we'll see that spiral continue and people feeling more self-sufficient and able to and empowered to trade harder and better with other countries. And if those things are achieved, that would be a great future, a great legacy to start off with.
With the training, does that give people more opportunities that wouldn't have the opportunities to actually do that in Malawi?
For sure, I think it's we've got, smallholder farmers who know what they are doing within their areas. We are bringing in other expertise and other ways of looking at things that might help them do things better, more efficiently, more effectively. Even simple things like with international trade, there's certain packaging and certain ways, logos, and we'll talk about logos and such, shortly, branding and such, and how certain things on certain shelves in the UK might sell better than other types of product. Even that sort of insight into what will sell really well in different marketplaces, we can offer through the initiative, as well as things like I mentioned, organic fertilizer training. And it's enabling farmers to make their own fertilizer. And it's more organic, it's probably better for the crops, it's better for the land. So this is all stuff that is sustainable for their future and will change their opportunities and their outlook.
Yeah, I suppose with it being organic as well, it's better for the person that's consuming it as well.
It's better for everyone, yeah absolutely right. And again, we mentioned labels and sharing stories, and organically grown is always stronger than not. So there's just so many tiers and levels to this that we're constantly learning from the farmers themselves, but also trying to bring what we know to Malawi as well, and mostly brokered through Mafeco, because they're brilliant and they've got their contacts with so many of us. We all know them very well. And the guys came over, the managing director there, John, and our account manager, Jeru, came to the UK and gave us more insight into how they operate things in Malawi. So we're always learning.
Yeah.
We never assume we know better. It's never going to be that approach as far as we're concerned. We're sort of in this together and we're evolving together.
I think that's always the best way to be.
Absolutely.
Always room for improvement.
Yeah, that runs both ways. We can all
That's it, yeah.
My last conversation with John and Jero, they're trying to sell me goats.
How many did you buy?
Well, it's,
It's great to hear as well that you're actually like going to visit the farmers. Like, I bet that like it's so rewarding for yourselves to actually speak to them and realise you are making a difference and you're actually, you know, creating those relationships. Like from working on like the SSP, like I've been lucky enough to go to like graduation ceremonies and everything with the past suppliers and actually meeting firsthand the people that it's actually impacting. And it really makes you sit there and think, oh, actually, this is quite good what's happening. Yeah, there is good things in the world that is kind of bad at the moment, but yeah. So I don't know if you want to tell us more about Revolver. What kind of coffee do you offer?
I don't know if you want to just smell that. Okay. Smell tells you everything.
Nose, but
Smell tells you everything about food and drink, doesn't it?
that smells really nice.
Come over, these are coffee bags. So you put it's unlike a tea bag. You put it in a cup,
Okay.
hot water. It has to be in for 2 or 3 minutes. Swirl it, and it won't stop brewing until you add milk.
Wow.
So when you add milk, it'll stop brewing.
You know what
Tea.
that's really good for, actually?
Camping.
Yeah, I was about to say,
great for camping.
yeah, camping,
Caravan.
or just, or like businesses where like, you know, you might be on the road and you've only got like a hot flask, but you don't want to carry around a pot of coffee that's going to fly all around the car.
Can I be honest? If you've got customers coming around, you want a decent cup of coffee, but you're not going to have like a big barista machine. This is a good way of making a quick cup of coffee and not be embarrassed with the instant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, let me show you can I show you our tea?
Yes, please.
So this tea comes from the central Thilo region of Malawi.
Okay.
Comes from a Satemwa, who are a tea producer, and they're a tea estate, and then they work with a number of cooperatives like Narapiri and Matendere. Right? We pay 1% of our turnover back to the producers so that they can invest in their communities. What's happening there is they are making decisions about what their communities need. And I can guarantee it's exactly the same as here. It's health and education. These are the two things that are critical to human life.
And they can choose how they spend
They
that
can
as well.
choose how they can choose how they spend
That's
it.
good.
So we bring in the tea from processed on our behalf by Satemwa. But the ambition is that Matendere and Narapiri come together in their tea union and become independent members of Flow themselves. To do that costs money. That's where the International Development Fund, the Cooperative International Development Fund, comes in. And this is a way of lifting farmers out of poverty. So that is the story largely for tea. And then we're talking about packaging because we're just a bit mad. We print on the inside of our packs. I hope you like that.
I do like that.
All of our tea, our tea at present presented as Co-op tea. That's our trademark. Co-op tea, Co-op coffee and Co-op chocolate are our trademarks alongside Revolver. And then this is really great product at a very inexpensive price.
Yeah, I've noticed you do a peppermint tea, which is my favourite.
Tea peppermint.
Earl Grey, I think.
We do great Earl Grey.
Delicious.
Absolutely. With extra bergamot.
That's my favourite.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm peppermint all the way. Yeah. So Andrew, not sellers, do you want to tell us a bit more about your brand and what you sell?
Macadamia, very different to coffee. It's one of the youngest commodities, only commercialised in the late 40s, early 50s. It originates in Australia, and now it's grown in many countries around the world. And Malawi is now the 6th largest producer of macadamia. I was born in Malawi, and macadamia, I think, is in my blood. My father left Manchester as a 21-year-old, 1953. His parents followed 6 months later, and I'm now working with my sons. So we have 4 generations of family working on smallholder agricultural products. We've been engaged in farming in Malawi for many years, but the thing that excites me most is what the future holds for those farmers that we've worked with for over 30 years now. Now that the farmers have developed their own primary co-ops in different districts across the country, typically in areas that you would get Arabica coffee. And now with the cooperative union, we have the opportunity to expand that to many, many more farmers. And nut sellers, we sell the product from the cooperative union into UK, and we've got a range of products that we've developed. And one of the things that we're excited about is a soap, which products like this can be made in Malawi, and that bit comes from the macadamia shell. So that's macadamia shell charcoal. So the most unusual products, the versatility of this commodity is extraordinary. We also have spreads and butter. So this is chocodamia, and it's made with date palm sugar and macadamia butter and cacao. And we think that this is something that many of your customers would be interested in, and it's something that we'd like to explore further. But as I say, it's based on our macadamia nut butter, and that is just 100% macadamia, no palm oil. So in terms of sustainability, what we're looking at here is a product that is minimally processed, really healthy fats, and the range of products that we're looking at go from the raw cinnamon coated, roasted, and we have a chocolate coated, which it's to die
Really
for.
good.
Yeah, I've had some requests already to pinch some for the colleagues, but one question I do have to ask, because I really like your packaging, and I know we were talking about it earlier, there's actually like a meaning with the new design of the packaging, isn't there?
Yes, so during the COVID years, my sons and I went to farmers markets to try and keep the supply chain going. And actually, I learned more about macadamia in those 3 or 4 years than the previous 50. So what we're trying to do with this packaging is to tell some stories, build on nostalgia. Many people who have tried macadamia will have tried it in South Africa, Australia, Hawaii, Kenya, Costa Rica. There's a number of countries around the world that grow macadamia. But as the youngest nut commodity, many people still don't know it. So what we're hoping with this packaging is we'll tell stories about Malawi, people will be interested in the origin. And more than that, we want to create new memories. We want people to actually engage with the product and tell their friends, share the love. And one of the things that Malawi is best known for, it's the warm heart of Africa. That is its slogan, and we just wanted to share some of that love through this design, which is based on a postcard, essentially. And so we're trying to tell the story of the origin and the farmers and this fantastic product.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for packaging, so if something looks nice, and I know that they taste nice as well, it's even better. And yeah, that's it. And then knowing that obviously there's that ethical side to it as well, and knowing where it comes from and the impact it's making is amazing. And I think it's something our customers are really going to appreciate as well. Because if I saw that on a website, I'd be like, yeah,
It's beautiful, isn't it?
yeah,
It really is.
straight in the basket.
Yeah. And we've got the
Thank you.
on the shelf competition against everything else. So you've got to have something that stands out.
Yeah,
against
absolutely.
Lots of others trying to sell you the same
And particularly where people don't know the origin and they don't know the product.
Yeah.
It is a job that we have to do, and the branding has to do some heavy lifting.
That's great. Thanks for coming today to share more about our Malawi partnership and how procurement of truly ethical products can really make a meaningful impact. If you'd like to find out more, please visit y.lyreco.com. Thank you for watching.